YouTube, what is up? My name is Danny. Welcome to Danny Griggs Outdoors. Started this channel, kind of break you through to the world of tournament fishing and how it all got started for me and some of the rods and reels that I'll end up using. Try to break it down for you. Let's see here. Some of the rods I use, by far Enigma is probably the way to go, especially if you're starting out as tournament fishing. Enigma rods and reels are probably the best, some of the best in the game for real. They're cheaper than a lot of your main competing companies. I mean, you can get a rod, $200 setup for, shoot, probably 150. I mean, you can't beat that nowhere else. Anyhow, but yeah, last year I got started in the tournament fishing world. You know, I've been fishing my whole life, but last year I got started in the tournament world and basically figured I'd pick up tournament fishing. You know, I've always played competitive sports, you know, growing up through high school and all that. So I needed to fill a void, you know. So I picked up tournament fishing. So basically I'm going to tell you, tournament fishing, it's cracked out to what it is, or what it can be, and then again it's not. And I'm going to explain that to you a little bit. First off, you're getting into the tournament fishing scene, awesome. I mean, you got a competitive spirit, and that's what it takes to be a tournament fisherman. If you're just getting started, I wouldn't go out and spend, you know, uber amount of money. You know, not everybody can hang with the rich people, more or less. Let's see. Basically, I heard it from another person, you know, on YouTube, Facebook, somewhere. I forget where I seen it, but basically, tournament fishing is a rich man's sport. The fastest way to become a millionaire in tournament fishing, start as a billionaire. But if you're just now getting into tournament fishing, you don't have to have the best of the best. All you really need is some good quality rods, reels, and good quality lures, line, all that. You don't need to go out and buy a $100,000 bass boat for sure. Getting into tournament fishing, basically you just gotta get into it, really. I mean, find out from your local, you know, if you live around a lake, a local lake, there's always going to be a tournament. You know, maybe not as of right now, you know, kind of dealing with all this coronavirus and all that. But there's always going to be a tournament somewhere, a local tournament, club tournament. You know, that's the best place to start, is honing in your craft on tournament fishing. You know, learn how to manage your time, manage your fish, manage your spots. You know, hone in your craft. That's the best way I know to do it. You don't need to go out and buy a $100,000 bass boat. You don't need to go out and buy a $100,000 truck. You don't have to do none of that. Starting out as a co-angler, that's where it's at. That'll teach you a lot. You can learn a lot from the back of the boat. I can promise you that. When you're starting out in tournament, entry fees are, you know, depending on what kind you fish, you know, of course your BFLs and your FLWs and all that, they're going to cost a lot. You know, maybe not so much your BFLs, but your opens and all that, they're going to cost a lot. So you're better off sticking to your club and local tournaments. You know, basically you just got to get into it. I mean, you got to put in practice. You got to put in work. Tournament fishing ain't for everybody. Some people enjoy it just to keep the fish and eat. I hope they're not bass fishermen when they're doing that, but still. But yeah, I mean, you got to hone your craft. You know, fishing can be easy one day, and the next day you can't do nothing right. So basically, it's what it boils down to. You got to practice. You know, the saying always goes, practice makes perfect. Yeah, kind of true. I mean, because fish are going to move. They're going to move in depths. You know, you're going to have to figure out what water depth they're in. You know, are they up shallow? Or are they about mid-range if you're fishing deep points? You know, if you're fishing grass flats, you know, are they chasing bait? You know, are you dragging a jig and catching them, imitating a crawfish? I mean, it's a lot that goes into it, but it's worth it. You know, fishing is fun. But anyhow, if you're just getting into tournament fishing, you know, I wouldn't go out and spend a ton of money on rods and reels just yet. Rods and reels, they can run up real quick. They can drain your bank account real quick. So you got to be careful on that. If you're just getting into it, like I said, Enigma, that's the way to go for me. You know, I ain't trying to point you to Enigma rods or away from any other brands, but for me, I started out fishing with Lew's rods and reels, and I can be honest with you, I did not like them. I ain't saying they're bad. I ain't saying they're terrible rods. Lew's makes a really great quality product. Daiwa, they make a really great quality product. But for me, Enigma, that's where it's at. I mean, you can buy tournament quality rods and reels for half the price. Gaining pro staff positions, man, don't even worry about that. It'll come. Pro staff positions, for one, they want you to have a following. You know, whether it be Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Basically, they're giving you a deal in order to get a deal. And that's basically what it's all about. You know, you have to put out quality content in order to get that deal. And I ain't trying to be mean, but posting, you know, one picture of a fish and then putting in for 10 pro staff positions, yeah, you're not going to get it. Point blank. You know, but another thing is if you put in for a pro staff position and you do get it, don't put in for it just to get it. Use their product. Learn their product. Like it. You know, don't buy just because, hey, I'm Joe Blow and, you know, I got 1,000 subs. I've never fished your product, but I want to be a pro staff for you. Man, that don't work. Point blank. Because for one, you don't know what you got. You don't know how rods and reels fish or lures fish or line. You know, I bought some really expensive line and I bought some fairly cheap line. You know, for me, Vicious is the way to go. I enjoy Vicious fishing line. I've never had a problem with Vicious fishing line. Some lines that are good, you know, they may be strong, but, you know, they got a lot of bad memory in them. You know, wind knots, you know, whatever. Another thing is, learn how to throw a bait caster. Accuracy is important. You know, up here in Virginia where I live, we don't have a whole lot of grass flat. I mean, a whole lot of, let's see here. It ain't like Okeechobee where you can flip a lot of mats. Let's just put it like that. Up here, it's a lot of grass flats, rock, structure, you know, underwater structure, lay downs, you know, deep points and things like that. So for me, flipping isn't as important, But for you, it may be. You may live down in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, places that have, pads and all that. I'm not saying that there isn't any in Virginia. Don't get me wrong. I think there is some in Carolina. Maybe Sharon Harris or Beaver Dam Lake. I'm not sure which one, but there are some, up close. Another thing, you gotta learn how to pattern fish. Just because it's 70 degrees one day and you catching them on top water around laydowns with frogs, could have a cold front come through. So you could be throwing that frog, man, you ain't gonna catch a thing. And I mean a thing. You need to learn how to adjust. And that's another big point in tournament fishing. You gotta know how to adjust, when to adjust, where to move. Don't fish memories. G-Man said it best. Don't fish memories. Memories will hurt you. And it's the God's honest truth. Because I have done it, and like G-Man said, yeah, I've got skin up at the weigh-in. I love tournament fishing. I mean, it's fantastic. I love the competitiveness. Plus, it's also a bunch of friends that get together. You may not be friends with them at first, but after fishing a few tournaments, everybody start talking to you, start getting friends, and start getting invites, to go other places, fish other tournaments, and that's when you're in the circle, if there is a such thing. Anyhow, I mean, if you're gonna be a tournament fisher, man, you gotta love to fish. Point blank, you gotta love to fish. Rain, sleet, snow, wind, sun, doesn't matter. Day, night, I like fishing night tournaments. I love night tournaments. Winter tournaments, not so much, but from the time of January, well, not so much January, from about November to January, yeah, I'm deer hunting. I mean, from those 2 to 3 months, yeah, deer season's important to me. It may not be for you. You may not like deer hunting, and it's cool. But for me, that's where it's at. But yeah, follow me around on some of my adventures. I'm gonna start shooting a lot of tournament videos. Depending on if they still have them. A lot of tournaments are being canceled right now. And if that's the case, then I'm going to be shooting a lot of just regular old fishing videos, trying to get the biggest weight bags I can get. Showing you, different techniques that I've learned, over the years and through other tournament anglers. Like I said, if you ain't competitive, man, tournament fishing probably ain't for you. Because you can go down a list, like G-Man said, and you can tell everybody on there that played a team sport. Because they know how to lose. They know how to win, but they also know how to lose, and lose with dignity. They don't badmouth other anglers, and that's another point. Be courteous, man. Because if you're not, the next man comes to the tournament, he ain't going to be courteous to you. I mean, be friendly. Fishing is, you don't have to, just because you got smoked on one tournament, okay, so that just means you need to go out and practice a little harder. You need to find better fish. That's all it means. That's all you got to do. But anyhow, follow me on my adventures. I'll show y'all a few techniques, and that's it. We out. Deuces.